Okay, here's the second part to the test corrections for Unit 8. Tried to squeeze in the whole section into one video, couldn't do it. So here's the last two, I believe. Alright, in this proof, we have to prove that triangle PQR is congruent to triangle PNR. And we know that PR bisects angle NPQ and NRQ. Alright, so it bisects NPQ and NRQ. Right. PR. Okay, and that's given to us. Alright, and since we know that, and I kind of drew it already for you guys, if the segment bisects an angle, then it creates two congruent angles. Alright, cuts the angle in half. So we know that angle NPR is congruent to angle QPR. Alright, this angle is congruent to this angle because they are bisected. Okay, and that's the definition of an angle bisector. Alright, and it's angle because the angle is getting bisected. Okay, we also know that angle QRP is congruent to angle NRP. Alright, and that's same reason. Definition of angle bisector. Okay. Probably should have wrote NRP, QRP because I wrote NPR in the last one. But either way, we show that these two angles are congruent. Okay, and the last thing is we have a line that is, or a segment that's shared between the two triangles. So we know that PR is congruent to PR. Alright, and that is reflexive. Reflexive property of congruence. Okay. Since we all know all that, we have angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. And that's enough to say that the two triangles are congruent. Last step, I don't know why that's there. Probably because you had to, probably because they wanted you to write this, and then PR is bisects NPQ, and PR bisects NRQ in the second step for both givens. Last one, we actually went over this one in class. This exact problem. Okay, given angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And AC is congruent to BD. AC is congruent to BD. We have to prove that angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. Alright, so the first statement, given. Second statement, given. There's 2 points right there. Angle AEC is congruent to angle BED. How do we know that? What's the reason for that? Well, that would be the vertical angles theorem. Alright. Now, our next reason, we don't have a statement, but we have a reason. Angle, angle, side, congruence theorem. Alright, angle, angle, side. Do you see an angle, angle, side here? Yeah, here's angle, and then a side. Angle, and then a side. So we have this triangle, angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side, and this triangle, angle, angle, side. We know that they're congruent based off of the angle, angle, side congruence theorem. So probably doesn't matter how you write it. I'm going to say CAE is congruent to triangle DBE. Okay. Next statement says AE is congruent to BE. AE is congruent to BE. All right, how do we know that? Well, since they're part of the triangles we just said are congruent, we know that those sides are congruent based off of the reason of corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. All right, and then therefore we could say that angle 3 is congruent to angle 4. All right, because we have this right triangle right here. Sorry, not right triangle. Isosceles triangle. We know that the two sides are congruent, therefore these two angles are congruent. That's called the base angles